Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is May 17th, and we're going to be doing our nightly outlook on the Dow, SPX, VIXX, TNA, and UUP. And you might hear some screaming in the background. The birds are going nuts tonight, so the wind is blowing, and they don't like it when the wind is blowing. So, anyways, starting off with the Dow. We did have a really crazy day when it was at its lowest, um, giving signals that the crossover was going to be completed before going into the bar. However, it was able to be rescued, and we ended up with a hammer. And I thought Monday was going to be the day that we got a little blip up. It turned out not to be the case. I figured we would get one blip up and be down for the week. That was what I was speculating on. And with this hammer, looks like maybe tomorrow will be the day where it gets its little blip up, and we'll have to see what it does from there. We do have further crossover and expansion on the short-term moving averages, but we still have a partial flat line. So that would suggest that it is not going to have a full crossover prior to entering the bar, in which case, it's not going to bite so deep. Certainly if we get a blip up tomorrow, that will also take some wind out of the bear's sails, and it'll take some doing to get over the bullish bar long-term moving average. And on the secondaries, we still have room to move. And the stochastic is low, but it can stay down there. So, kind of mixed, really. I don't trust. The strength seems to be waning a little bit, and for the momentum on the downside. So, there's going to have to be more NDEs or something to make this market go down much further. But it's had a nice drop, and some sort of little counter movement would probably be in order now. And the SPX, same thing, except they have a green hammer. Unlike the Dow, it has already entered the bar. It started entering yesterday. And we still have a partial flat line on the short-term moving average. I don't think that it will be able to really put the hurt on the bar. And secondaries also mirror the Dow. Now, one thing that is interesting that would make sense to me is that we are below the neckline, and we are below the neckline of the head and shoulders. So two necklines right here, purple and blue. For it to come back up and test those and decide whether or not it wants to go through it or bounce off it and keep going down, that makes a lot of sense to me. Tomorrow may be the day where it will do that, and I completely welcome that because I like directional movement, and I was ecstatic when we had this because it was a directional move, and if it can go back up here and hopefully not chop around, I'll be extremely happy. And in the daily running thread today, I was saying how the VIX did not match up with the action of the indexes when they were down. It was just a little tiny little bar, and it took a good portion of the day for it to really become something that made sense. But it did give us an indication intraday that we called out that something was not right, and sure enough, that was the right call. It is a bearish engulfing, and we did have that hammer, which we talked about yesterday, which was not strong enough to trade on its own, but was a warning sign. And sure enough, we have this red candle today, which is bearish. So if we do get an uptick tomorrow, that would also make sense, as this would go down, some. We do have almost double flatline on the VIX, although the bearish long-term moving averages still have a little bit of separation, but nothing to be excited about. And if this does go into a complete double flatline, that'll be very interesting, as it will be able to move dramatically in either direction. And TNA, we were talking last night about how TNA was been stronger than the Dow and the S&P, and has likewise fallen faster, more dramatically than the Dow and the S&P. It was able to catch itself today. This is not a perfect spinning top. It's just a regular candle, but it has some characteristics like a spinning top. I personally hate spinning tops, but the short-term moving average, as we can see, has broken through, not completely, the long-term moving averages. It does look fairly uniform going down through it, so if it moves slightly up or sideways tomorrow, that would make sense, as this would continue on its way through, and although it should get sucked back up at least somewhat, because of the bullish long-term moving average is still intact, starting to compress slightly, but it still should have some strength to bring it back in. And UUP, the dollar, this is what has moved the markets as they have. We had this big run, the market had the decline. We noticed we had a hammer yesterday, noted in the video, and that this was all wobbly and ugly looking. We do have a red candle today. It is not significantly, lower. However, it is engulfing the previous candle, the real body of the previous candle, which is bearish, and it is. We do not have a downtick. This is. Let me blow this up. Oh, I guess we do actually have the absolute most minor of a downtick almost that you can have. So, by the rules, we would have a downward target right there to correct for a bubble fully, which would be around 21.43 roundabout, so 17 cents or so to correct for this, and maybe it needs 17 cents. Certainly that would be a decent sized move and would produce a positive blip on the overall market. So 3 to 4 bars, although it'd be a lot better if it was a sharper angle, though. That is so minor. If it's not blown all up, you can't even really see it. So letter of the law, yeah, we could go down to 21.43 to fix that bubble, and that would line up with the rest of the indexes, wanting what it would appear they want on the chart. But that's it. That's our market overview for tonight. I would expect a blip up tomorrow, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens at the SPX's two necklines, and I would not be surprised at all after it gets its little blip to turn over again and be down for the week, just because of all of the uncertainty and everything. I don't think that today was an actual bottom, but it would be nice for it to pause. As long as there's a fear and uncertainty in the market, I do think that it will continue down, and certainly the issues in Europe have not been solved yet, so that would make sense to me for the dollar to get stronger over the next few days. But that is my take. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only.